Didn't plan on missing you this much. Thought time would dull the edges, but some names still hit like a sudden storm. No warning, no defenses. I drive past places we used to go like I'm testing my own strength. That old diner, the movie sign, still stuck in the same decade. I remember how you'd laugh at nothing, how you'd steal my fries, how forever felt irresponsible, but somehow still right. I was young and thought love was fire, something loud, something wild. Didn't know love was also patience, didn't know it could be quiet. I thought we had more time, I thought love would wait. If I'd known that night was the last one, I'd have stayed, I'd have held you tighter. I wouldn't have rushed the morning or acted like goodbye was lighter. If I'd known that love could leave like that, without a sound, without a fight, I'd have memorized your heartbeat instead of sleeping through the night. Your jacket's still hanging in the closet, like it expects you back. Sometimes I swear I hear the door, but my heart still falls for that. And friends say, man, you'll move on, like love's a switch or phase. But some people don't leave your life, they just change the way you breathe your days. I replay every small mistake, not the fights, but the pauses, the moments I chose being busy instead of choosing us. I thought love was automatic, that it didn't need work. Didn't know neglect could be silent, didn't know silence could hurt. If heaven lets me rewind even just a little while, I wouldn't ask for perfection, I'd just stay present and try. I'd put my phone down at the table, I'd listen when you spoke, I'd love you like it matters, because now I know. If I'd known that night was the last one, I'd have stayed, I'd have held you tighter. I wouldn't have rushed the morning or acted like goodbye was lighter. Some of love don't fade with distance, they don't weaken with time, they just teach you too late what you should have held on to tighter. Too late. Too late. The older I get, the quieter regrets sound, but they never really leave. I used to think I had all the answers back when life fell wide open. Thought I could outrun consequences as long as my heart was still hoping. I burned bridges I didn't mean to, said words I can't take back. Funny how pride feels powerful till it shows you what it lacks. I see my reflection in store windows, lines I didn't notice before. Each one earned, each one teaching what patience is really for. I've lost friends to time and distance, lost love to my own fear. And I finally understand now why forgiveness matters here. Because life don't slow down when you're learning late. shout. It's the people who stay when you've got nothing figured out. It's the calls you almost didn't make, the apologies you finally say. Yeah, the older I get, the more I wish I'd lived that way. I chased success like it was salvation, like peace was waiting ahead. But peace was sitting at my table in the words I never said. I thought being strong meant never bending, never asking for help. Didn't know real strength was admitting you can't do it all yourself. If I could talk to my younger self, I wouldn't scare him, wouldn't preach. I'd just say slow down, listen more, love deeper, and don't leave. The older I get, the more I realize what matters doesn't shout. It's the people who stay when you've got nothing figured out. Time don't heal, but it explains what you should have held along the way. Yeah, the older I get, the more I wish I lived that way. Live that way. Live that way. You said I'll be right back, like it was nothing, like it didn't change everything. Your coffee was still warm, sitting by the sink. Your phone buzzed once and went silent. I told myself not to overthink, but hours don't lie when the house stays still and the quiet starts asking questions you never meant to answer. I remember our last argument, how small it really was. We were tired, we were stressed, we let pride do what it does. I thought space would fix it, thought distance would cool the flame. Didn't know love doesn't survive when silence runs a game. Goodbyes don't announce themselves. You didn't slam the door, you didn't scream or cry. You just slowly disappeared out of my everyday life. And that hurts worse than anger, worse than hearing goodbye. Because I'm left with all these moments, wondering when we die. Your side of the bed stays cold like it remembers you. I reach across some nights, still acting like you do. Friends ask me what went wrong, I never know what to say. Because nothing really exploded, we just faded away. If love is something you maintain, then I stopped doing my part. I let routine replace attention, I let comfort replace heart. Now I know what absence means, I know what silence costs. You don't miss someone all at once, you lose them piece by piece, then you're lost. You didn't slam the door, you didn't scream or cry. You just slowly disappeared out of my everyday life. And I'd trade every argument just to hear you say my name, because losing you quietly still feels like losing everything. 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 I still hear your voice in the quiet hours, when the house finally lets me think. I fold the laundry like you used to, neat corners, patient hands. I never thanked you for the little things that held together all our plans. You were the calm behind my chaos, the soft answer to my noise, and I mistook your steadiness for something I could always avoid. I thought love was a given, thought it didn't need tending, didn't know neglect grows quietly right where you're not looking. I didn't lose you in a moment, I lost you over time. I should have shown up sooner, I should have asked how you were, I should have noticed the distance instead of calling it work. If love is made of attention, then I spend mine everywhere else. And now I'm learning too late what it means to lose yourself. You stopped asking me to listen, stop fighting to be heard. I thought the peace meant we were fine, didn't know it was the end of words. You carried our whole life gently, so I wouldn't have to see how tired you were becoming, trying to believe in me. I remember the nights you cried quietly, facing the sink, back turned away. I asked what's wrong out of habit, you said nothing and I let it stay. That was the moment I should have stayed, put my arms around your fear. Instead I chose distraction, and you started disappearing here. If love is work, I clocked out early. If love is choice, I chose myself. If love is staying present, I left you there alone with doubt. And now every room echoes with who I didn't know how to be. I'd give anything to go back and learn to love responsibly. I should have shown up sooner, I should have asked how you were, I should have noticed the distance instead of calling it work. Some lessons don't come gently, some truths arrive too late. I didn't lose you suddenly, I lost you every day. Every day.
There's a town I pass on the way home. I never stop there anymore.
We used to pull off that exit just to stretch our legs. Cheap gas, cold coffee, talking about names we like for kids. You said you liked the quiet there, said it felt honest, small. I said I needed something bigger, didn't know I'd lose it all. That town still looks the same, same signs, same fading paint, but now it feels like a chapter I don't get to re-explain. Some dreams ask for sacrifice, I just didn't know the cost. I chased the road, not the reason. I chased the future, not the now. I thought love would understand why I couldn't slow down, but love doesn't wait forever. It doesn't pause on the side. And now I pass that town alone, with your name on every mind. I thought ambition was noble, thought it made me a man. Didn't see how every promise slowly slipped through my hands. You were building something solid while I kept chasing air. I told myself you'd be there, because you always were. I still hear you in my head sometimes, asking me to stay. I said just a little longer. You heard not today. By the time I turned around, you'd already let go. Some people don't leave in anger, they leave when hope runs low. If I ever love like that again, I won't treat time like it's free. I won't bet tomorrow against who's standing next to me. 'Cause love is not a checkpoint, it's the road you're on. And I learned that truth too late, when the best thing was gone. I chase the road, not the reason. I chase the future, not the now. Some loves don't survive delays, some hearts don't wait around. I don't blame you for leaving, I blame who I became. Now every mile I drive alone still whispers your name. Your name. There's a stretch of highway I avoid now, not because it's dangerous, but because it remembers us. We used to drive it with the windows down, singing songs we barely knew. You'd rest your feet on the dashboard, like the future was something we'd already been through. You talked about growing old, like it was simple, like it was kind. I talked about dreams and distance, like love could read my mind. I didn't see how every mile was taking me further from you. I thought motion meant progress, didn't know stillness was what we needed to. Some roads don't forgive hesitation. I should've slowed down when you asked me, I should've stayed when you said please. I thought love would understand why I always had somewhere else to be. Now I drive this road alone, with your words in my head. I should've slowed down when you asked me, instead of racing ahead. You said I feel like I'm losing you. I said that's not true. I thought reassurance was enough. Didn't know reassurance needs proof. I kept betting on tomorrow like it was guaranteed. You were asking for today, and I kept refusing to see. Now every exit sign feels heavy, like it's calling out my name. I don't blame you for leaving, I blame my love for arriving late. I thought ambition made me brave, but courage would have been standing still with you, instead of always escape. If I ever love like that again, I won't confuse movement with growth. I won't treat love like a detour, or patience like an oath. I'll slow down when it matters, I'll listen when it's hard, because some hearts don't need promises, they need you where they are. I should have slowed down when you asked me, I should have stayed when you said please. Some loves don't survive momentum, some hearts need stability. Now I drive this road alone, with your words in my head. I should have slowed down when you asked me, instead of racing ahead. I should have stayed when you said please. Some loves don't survive momentum, some hearts need stability. Now I drive this road alone, with your words in my head. I should have slowed down when you asked me, racing ahead. In the head. The house feels different when it rains, like it remembers things I try to forget. I hear your footsteps in the hallway, even though I know you're gone. Old habits die the hardest when they think nothing is wrong. Your mug still sits by the window, chipped edge, faded blue. I keep it there like a promise I don't know how to undo. You used to say the rain calmed you, said it made the world slow down. Now it just reminds me of all the ways I let you drown. I thought love could wait, I thought we were strong. But some good things fade quietly, without a warning sign. Some hearts stop asking questions when they've waited too long for time. I didn't hear you breaking because you never made a sound. You just slowly let go of me, and I never turned around. You carried so much patience, thought it would never run dry. You kept forgiving my absence, I kept living my alibis. You stopped dreaming out loud, stopped asking me to stay. I thought that meant we were solid, didn't know it meant you were halfway gone already. Now I replay every moment where love asked more of me, and I answered with distraction, or the just feel what you felt. I'd hold you like you were leaving, because you already were. And I'd finally understand that love needs action, not words. Some good things fade quietly, without a fight or sound. Some hearts don't shatter loudly, they just wear themselves down. I didn't hear you breaking, because you never made a sound. You just slowly let go of me, and I never turned around. Never turned around. The silence after love is louder than the fights ever were. We used to talk about everything, from the serious to the small. Now the quiet fills the room and answer nothing at all. Your name still feels familiar, like it's waiting to be said. But saying it out loud now feels like reopening something dead. I thought we were unbreakable because we didn't argue much. Didn't know disagreement was sometimes a form of touch. I thought calm and safe, I was wrong. We mistook silence for peace. We mistook distance for space. We stopped asking hard questions and called it being okay. But love doesn't live in avoidance, it lives in choosing to stay. And we quietly walked away from everything we could have saved. You needed me to notice when your smile changed its shape. I noticed, but I waited like timing would save the day. You needed reassurance, I gave you routines. You needed intention, I gave you what I mean. Now I understand too late what effort really is. It's not grand gestures once in a while, it's consistency in the little bits. It's listening when it's uncomfortable, staying when it's hard. I thought love would survive neglect, but neglect leaves scars. If I could relive those quiet nights, I'd break the silence first. I'd ask the questions I avoided, even if they hurt. Because losing you slowly taught me what fear does. It teaches you to avoid pain until pain avoids you back. We mistook silence for peace. We mistook distance for space. We stopped asking hard questions and called it being okay. Some loves don't end with shouting, they just quietly decay. And we slowly walked away from everything we could have said. There's a box in the back of my closet I never meant to open again. Inside are photographs and ticket stubs, receipts from nights that felt important then. Your handwriting on old envelopes, saying things like don't forget me. Funny how I thought those words were something love wouldn't need. I pulled one picture from the stack, we were laughing, sunburned young. You're leaning into me like trust was easy, like the future hadn't begun. I remember thinking this is forever without knowing what forever cost. I didn't know how fragile love was or how easily it gets lost. Some memories don't fade, they wait. I thought love would stay the same even if I didn't change. I thought showing up sometimes was enough to carry the weight. But love doesn't survive on memories or good intentions alone. It survives on being chosen daily, and I left it on its own. You asked me once if I was happy. I laughed and said of course. But happiness isn't a reflex, it's a question you're forced to answer with how you live, with where you give your time. And I gave mine to everything else while you waited in line. I didn't cheat, I didn't lie, I just slowly checked out. And that's the kind of damage no apology talks about. Now I understand what leaving means. It's not always walking away. Sometimes it's staying physically while your heart's already astray. You noticed it before I did. You felt it in the way I touched, like I was reaching through you instead of reaching for us. If love is something alive, then neglect is how it dies. Not with anger, not with flames, but with distance disguised as time. And I wish I'd known that sooner, before regret learned my name, before your love turned quiet and I stayed exactly the same. Hey, I thought love would stay the same even if I didn't change. I thought being there halfway was enough to ease the pain. Now all I have are memories and a truth I can't outgrow. Love doesn't leave in a moment, it leaves when you stop choosing it slow. Stop choosing it. I thought love would stay the same even if I didn't change. I thought being there halfway was enough to ease the pain. Now all I have are memories and a truth I can't outgrow. Love doesn't leave in a moment, it leaves when you stop choosing it slow. Stop choosing it. You used to call me when the night felt heavy. Now you don't call at all. I remember how you talk in circles like you were scared of landing on the truth. I listened halfway distracted, thinking love would carry us through. You said I feel alone sometimes I said we're fine, it's just stress. I didn't hear the warning, I heard what required less. You needed reassurance, I gave you routines. You needed effort, I gave you what I mean. I didn't know loneliness could exist in a room for two. You felt alone with me, that's the part that hurts the most. Not that you left, but that you stayed, feeling like a ghost. I was right there physically, but my heart was somewhere else. You felt alone with me, and I didn't even notice myself. I thought love meant stability, a job, a home, a plan. Didn't know love also means looking at someone and saying, I see who you are. You didn't need fixing, you didn't need advice. You needed my attention, not my half-lived life. You stopped sharing your small victories, stopped telling me your fears. I thought you just maturing, didn't know you were disappearing here. You learned to carry things alone while I praised our peace, not knowing peace without connection is just a quieter grief. If I could go back to those nights when you reached out quietly, I wouldn't minimize your pain or tell you it'll pass casually. I'd sit with you in the discomfort, I'd choose to stay engaged, because being loved shouldn't feel lonely, even on an ordinary day. You felt alone with me, and that's the part that breaks me now. I didn't leave, but I wasn't there somehow. Some heartbreaks don't come from betrayal, they come from neglect. You can't see you felt alone with me, and that's the truth I have to keep. Alone with me.
I always thought love would be loud, that it would announce itself.
I thought it would come with big moments, with fireworks, fights, and apologies. Didn't know love could slip away so quietly you barely notice it leave. I was waiting for a breaking point, for a moment I couldn't deny. But love doesn't always shatter, sometimes it just quietly says goodbye. You stopped correcting me, stopped asking for my time. I thought you were just tired, didn't know you were already saying goodbye in your mind. Some endings don't echo, they fade. I didn't hear the ending because it didn't scream. It didn't slam doors or tear apart our dreams. It just slowly stopped asking for space in my life. And by the time I noticed, love had already said goodbye. I kept assuming tomorrow would give me another chance. Didn't know tomorrow isn't promised. When love needs you to act, you Waited longer than you should have, hoping I'd finally see that love doesn't want potential, it wants consistency. And now I replay the small moments where I could have chosen more, the texts I didn't answer, the nights I walked out the door. I thought love was unbreakable because it didn't complain, didn't know silence can be resignation, not strength, not patience. If love ever finds me again, I won't wait for it to shout. I'll listen to the quiet signals before the quiet runs out. I'll respond to the small needs, not just the obvious pain, because love doesn't end loudly, it ends when you don't remain. I didn't hear the ending because it didn't scream, it didn't burn us down or rip apart our dreams. Some loves don't die dramatically, they fade without a fight. And by the time you feel the silence, love is already out of sight. I didn't hear the ending because it didn't scream, it didn't burn us down or rip apart our dreams. Some loves don't die dramatically, they fade without a fight. And by the time you feel the silence, love is already out of sight. Out of sight. There's a version of me that you knew that I don't recognize anymore. You met me when I still believed that love could fix what I ignored, when I thought saying I'll try harder was the same as doing more. You saw the good before I earned it, you trusted what I said I'd be. And I lived too long in that grace, like it didn't cost you anything. You used to ask about my dreams, sit quiet while I talked. I don't remember when I stopped asking, or when listening became something I forgot. I thought love meant being accepted, not being accountable. You loved the version of me I never learned to stay. You believed in who I said I was while I slowly drifted away. I didn't lie, I didn't cheat, I just stopped becoming the man you saw in me. You defended me when others questioned why you stayed so long. You said he's trying, he's just scared. I proved you wrong, not with one big failure, but with 100 quiet choices, where I chose comfort over courage and ignored your softer voices. You waited for growth, I waited for time. I thought improvement was automatic, as long as the love was kind. Now I understand what belief costs when it's placed in the wrong hands. How love and potential can break a heart if potential never stands. You
'cause loving hurt, because hoping became heavier than finally accepting the truth. If I ever get that kind of love again, I won't hide behind good intentions. I'll show progress, not promises. I'll choose action over mention, because love isn't blind belief, it's trust that's reinforced. And I'll let yours stand alone until it finally collapsed. You love the version of me I never learned to stay. I let your faith do all the work while I slowly walked away. And now I live with the lesson I was too late to learn. You don't get to be believed forever if you never become what you said you were. What I said I was.
Keep thinking I'll get used to this, but some absences don't shrink. I still reach for my phone sometimes, like it owes me your name, like muscle memory can't undo what we couldn't sustain. You used to be the first person I told my good news to. Now good news feels unfinished because it can't find you. I thought time would soften everything, that distance would help me heal. But healing isn't forgetting, it's learning how to live with what's real is. You're gone for good. I don't miss the fighting, I don't miss the strain. I miss the comfort of knowing who was standing in my lane. I miss being chosen naturally without having to ask. I miss being someone's safe place, not just part of their past.
I miss the way you sit beside me without saying a word, like silence didn't need explaining when love was secure. I miss the way you believed in us even when things felt thin, and how I slowly stopped protecting what I was standing in.
I didn't realize what consistency meant until it was gone. Didn't know love was built in repetition and showing up when nothing was wrong. Now every new connection feels like borrowed ground, because takes time and I already let mine down. I'm not afraid to love again, I'm afraid of being careless, afraid of thinking effort can wait until the damage is apparent. If love ever feels familiar again, I won't let comfort make me blind. I'll treat it like something alive that needs attention, not just time. Because losing you taught me this, better late than never, I guess. Love doesn't die from conflict, it dies from being treated as less. I don't miss the fighting, I don't miss the pain. I miss being important in someone else's day. I miss being chosen quietly without doubt or tag. part of their past.
Part of your past.
Used to talk until sunrise, now we don't talk at all. I miss the way you'd fall asleep mid-sentence, mid-thought. I'd listen to your breathing like it was something I'd been taught. Now nights feel longer than they should, like time is standing still. I'd give anything to hear you talking just to feel the quiet again. I scroll through old messages like they might explain. We didn't break loudly, we faded quietly. We didn't end in fire, we didn't crash or burn. We just slowly stopped choosing everything we'd earned. And that's what hurts the most, not anger, not goodbye, just waking up one day and realizing we let love die. I thought comfort meant security, didn't see it turning cold. I thought knowing you completely meant we didn't need to be told. You needed effort, not assumption. You needed me to stay aware. But I treated love like furniture, always there. I wish you had yelled at me, thrown plates, slammed doors, anything but that calm resignation that meant you tried before. Silence isn't peace, sometimes it's giving up. And I mistook your quiet for something safe enough. If love is something you maintain, then I stopped showing up. I let routine replace intention, I let later steal us. And now every empty evening teaches me what I lost. You don't miss someone suddenly, you miss them at a cost. We didn't end in fire, we didn't crash or burn.